Hi there, welcome to the Litecoin Wyckoff technical analysis session. So last week we talked about or asked about Litecoin is battling to stay within the upward channel that started as early as April. So half a year from then, today or this week, the price has confirmed that it has fallen outside of this uptrend. So what's next? Let's find out. If you're new to my sessions, these are the takeaways you can expect. I'll cover the current and the coming Wyckoff stages, also the key price levels where Litecoin will find resistance or support, and also any breakout timing the price actions are telling us. So let's start with the weekly chart. Here we can see this red candlestick this week. So last week we were there, during the session we say that battle is really going on, and this week it confirmed that the price has fallen outside of this box. Not only that, the price went as low as to near the orange key level of $79, so it went below the intermediate support, this white dashed line that's formed from the previous preliminary support in March, and also during this late accumulation period around June to early July. That's where we are now. Okay, and in terms of Wyckoff stages, we are likely entering the preliminary support stage. So depending on where the coming candlesticks would go, we may have started this stage already, heading towards the selling climax. So if it really comes down, the likelihood of the price coming to test the red key level of 62 will get higher and higher, because this selling climax back in April, March this year, the wick went all the way to a similar level. The whole accumulation period started July 2024 all the way to November 2024 was around that level as well, and even late 2023. So this is a level that has been visited multiple times in the past 2 years. So it's totally possible, if this distribution cycle is finishing and we're entering the new accumulation cycle, that's one of the highly likely price level that we are going to reach. If you ask, would it be somewhere lower? There's a possibility. Summer last year, the price went below that level, but then it didn't stay there for too long, probably just a week or so. This time, however, would it go back to something like what we have back in 2022? That's the big question for 2025 or 26, because there, the price stayed below the red key level of $62 for as long as 160 days. That's over 5 months. Okay, so that's the big picture. We're still higher possibility that the price is heading through a new accumulation, and this remains a lower possibility coming up to challenge the green key level or somewhere higher. Let's quickly check the Bollinger Band and Kerner squeeze. There is a tiny squeeze happening, but the price swing is, I would say, still continuing from the squeeze we had back in October, November in 2024. So what's happening right now is kind of known or expected already. Okay, so let's head towards the daily chart and see what indications we can get. So for the past 8 days, started, well, on the 10th it closed somewhere around that level, but on the 11th it has confirmed it has fallen outside, because it was still battling at one time on the 11th, you see the wick was above both the yellow key level and the bottom edge of the upward channel box. But subsequently, the price went down just to find support around this white dashed line that's been extended from the previous levels of the accumulation and some of the distribution cycles. So here, however, this is not a very strong support line. Both October 10th and 17th tested this line, and it's possible for it to be tested a third time, and when that happens, it may end up falling towards the orange key level, just to find like better support around that 79 to 88, 89 range. Okay, I hope it doesn't like go too sharp towards the downside, because the volume themselves are telling us something. The red days are having much higher volume, like more than double than what we have today and yesterday. The only relieving indication here is the candlestick yesterday, where it had the highest volume among the 5 days, and then it has a long wick from the bottom, meaning there are some people buying the dip from that point, pushing the price back to above this white support line. I'm just trying to check if there are any downward trends. So if I just extend this box, assuming that this downtrend is following what's happened within the bigger upward channel previously, from August all the way till like end of September. Alright, it was only the first couple of days in October that briefly popped outside of this like short-term downtrend. If this is really following this trajectory, assuming the price is going to trade sideways below the yellow key level and above this white dash line, we have by the end of November, by then the price would either break outside of this downtrend and challenge the yellow key level once again, or it's going to confirm that it's falling below this white dashed support line, heading towards the orange to challenge it and potentially show us a selling climax. Okay, so that's where the selling climax was around back in June. So it ended up above the orange key level, but the current sentiment, market sentiment, is way different from June. So be really cautious that we may end up somewhere like where we were back in April. So I'm putting this somewhere between the orange and the red, because the worst, just to compare the one that we had in June, the worst one is absolutely the April, but it's not the worst. The worst can go lower than the red. So you see, I've already talked about even August last year went below the red, not to mention the 2022. Okay, so we have talked about these time points that well, I'll see if this downtrend is really a confirmed one. I might as well draw the center line now, just to see whether there's a possibility of an earlier breakout. So if we look at this middle line or center line of the box, there is an earlier time point cutting through the white dashed line. That's around November 5th. But if a breakout is going to happen, it's not going to wait till then. So if the price is really going to fall outside, like being suppressed by this center line, we already see it happen over the past 5 days, then somewhere from now till the end of the month or the first few days of November, this may eventually come below the white dash line and go challenge the orange. And by then, we have by the end of November for the price or the big guys to tell us, are they going to push the price back up, or is the downtrend going to continue towards the red key level? Okay, so just to repeat the date, somewhere near the end of this month or the first few days of November, that's the earliest time point that the breakout would happen. Okay, if it successfully passes through this center line and still staying above this white dash line, then the next time point will be near the end of November. Okay, it's a pretty good range to trade, from 87 to 100, the yellow key level. That's a 13% range. Okay, but we are somewhere in the middle now, so be careful that it may get rejected and then come back down to the white dash line. Let's see whether I have missed anything before we finish the day. Yeah, we talked about 70, 30. Yeah, so I think that's what it is for Litecoin today. Thanks for joining me. Trade safe. It's going to be a wild ride for a lot of altcoins, and maybe a lot of them that's currently already in an accumulation cycle may stay there longer. For the ones that are at the late stage distribution cycle or early stage accumulation, like Litecoin, they may show us the selling climax pretty soon. Good luck, and always remember, stop loss is our friend.